Hi. Quai, who is in Lustley, Devon, England, asks Merlin, Merlin, what is it about all those stone circles? Did those stones get there by themselves? And if people moved them, how did they move them and what were they for? And what I'm really curious about, Quai says, is how did people figure out where to get the stones that would be the right shape to make those circles? Well, you're asking the right person, Quai, because in some versions of my story, and there are many, I built Stonehenge. I know. I mean, you might think there was some other way that happened. Way back in the day when I was a young wizard, King Voldemort... Back in the day, King Vortigern discovered me as a young wizard and hired me not only to be a wizard, but also an architect and engineer, because I was pretty good at that stuff too. And a bard to sing him to sleep at night with beautiful legendary songs. Vortigern began to command me too. Oh, but he died. And then his son Aurelius came along and he commanded me to build a stone circle. And maybe it was because he wanted to honor the memory of all the Britons who'd been killed in the battles against the Saxons. And maybe it was because he wanted a really highfalutin place to be buried in the middle of. But anyway, whatever the reason, Aurelius commanded me to get a stone circle built, and specifically to steal the favorite of the King of Ireland. So okay, no problem. I gathered up 14,000 of his best knights. I brought all those knights over Salisbury Plain, all the way to the Irish Sea. We got on ships. We went across the Irish Sea, up a mountain to the Giant's Dance, brought down the stones. And we came down under cover of night and got back on the ships across the Irish Sea and then out of the ships over the Salisbury Plain and had Stonehenge set up there by morning. It's a great story. Sure, the research of geologists shows that the stones that make up Stonehenge came from Wales and also some from quite near the site of Stonehenge, but who's to say that the King of Ireland hadn't found a really good wizard to move those stones across the Irish Sea up the mountain to the Giant's Dance, and that I hadn't gone back there with 14,000 knights to retrieve them and bring them back to Salisbury Plain. And how did we do that? It was a combination of intellect and intuition. On the one hand, scientific research, learning from everything that everybody had learned before you, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Use intellect to look at the stones and see how they're placed and extrapolate. And the intuition part was practice and practice. Practice of tuning in. Practice of tuning into the unique intelligence of the rocks and stones themselves and calling on them and listening for them calling on us and saying, Merlin, take me. So in your life, I do recommend doing the same. The combination of intellect with research behind it and intuition that leads into magic with good training. The combination of all this with lots of practice can give you all that more ability to get done the stuff you want to get done.